Well, accused University of Idaho murderer Bryan Kohberger's quadruple homicide case captivated the nation, certainly, after University of Idaho students Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were found dead in their apartment last November. Now, internet sleuths tried to put the pieces together as PhD criminology student Kohberger managed to evade police for 7 weeks before he was eventually apprehended, eventually caught. Well, now some believe that he never intended to kill all 4 of those students, that there may have only been one victim he was originally targeting. One of these people, journalist Caitlyn Becker, who joins us live tonight. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So, Caitlyn, out of all 4 victims, who do you believe Kohberger actually intended to harm that night?
My gut tells me that it is Kaylee, but my investigation as a journalist and as a reporter who has been digging into this for months now tells me it is either Kaylee or Maddie. The evidence doesn't really narrow it down to one of them, but my gut says Kaylee. But I do believe that all of the evidence points to one of the victims in the upstairs bedroom was the initial target, and that there was only one victim targeted. Unfortunately, that means the 3 other victims were just collateral damage.
And what explains that to you? What evidence particularly is leading you down that road? I know that we were speaking with former CIA officer and FBI Special Agent Tracy Walder about this months ago, and she also believed that the concept of overkill, that there was one person in particular who really received the brunt of the violence and was stabbed over and over and over again, also led her to potentially that conclusion. What are you tracking at this time?
And to kind of piggyback off of that one victim, we know from Kaylee's family was Kaylee. Kaylee's father, Steve Goncalves, has said that Kaylee's wounds were significantly more brutal than any of the other victims, even Maddie Mogen, who died in the same bed next to her. We also know that the knife sheath was dropped next to Maddie's body, which leads me to believe that the killings started upstairs in that 3rd floor bedroom. We also know that Xana Kernodle was awake at the time of the killing. She was on TikTok just moments before being stabbed. And we also have to add that with the eyewitness testimony that we get from the surviving roommate. The surviving roommate, who was sleeping on the 2nd floor, recalls hearing the killer come into the house and be on the 3rd floor first, essentially putting Kaylee's dog in one of the bedrooms, then going to that upstairs bedroom and then filtering out through Xana and Ethan. And if Xana was awake and came across the killer, it stands to reason that the killer likely had to kill Xana because they felt that they had to clean up a loose end, and Ethan was in the same bedroom.
And, it seems as this case comes together that prosecutors will try to make the case that this was a well-thought-out plan for Kohberger, that there is evidence he visited that campus, that he stalked the victims, he followed their moves on social media. What do you think actually happened in that house for him to end up killing 4 victims instead of 1?
For everything that I know, as you mentioned, all of those things that the police believe have been pretty much laid out. They have his cell phone and his car circling by that house 12 times, beginning as early as late June. So there's all of this evidence that he had been there multiple times. There are also sources saying that he had followed all 3 of the victims on social media, but only repeatedly messaged one of them. Another source said that he was found with images of just one of the victims, which again goes back to my theory that there was likely an alleged obsession with Bryan Kohberger and one of the girls in the house. It's my belief that it was Kaylee, and that the issue was he had planned to allegedly go in this house and kill Kaylee, but probably expected Kaylee to be in her bedroom. But at the time, she had already moved out and was sleeping in the same bed as Maddie. So this is allegedly all planned out. The suspect enters the home thinking that they're going to go into one room, ended up having to go into a 2nd room, finding 2 girls instead of 1. And that is, I think, where the dominoes started to fall and how we ended up with such mass casualties.
All right, Caitlyn Becker, I certainly appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
We want to let our viewers know to stay tuned tonight because NewsNation's Ashley Banfield is sharing new details about Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin's murders and the case that is shaping up against Bryan Kohberger. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.